So the good news is 6.4 doesn't really do anything new. It's just basically putting together what we've done and kicking it up a notch. So if I look at 8p squared plus 14p plus 5, I don't want to guess and check this again. 8 could be a 1 and an 8, a 2 and a 4. It's just not worth it. So I'm going to keep focusing on the AC factoring. Okay. So 8 times c, 8 times 5 is 40. I'm looking for two things that multiply to make 40, combine to make 14. If you want to keep using the x, that doesn't bother me either. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go, because as these numbers get more complicated, I'm going to go back to my t-table. What are all the factors of 40? I'm trying to make a 14. Well, it could be 1 and 40, no. 2 and 20. 3 doesn't go in. But 4 and 10. 5 and 8. We found a 14 right there. So those are my two numbers. So I can take that b term and split it. 8p squared plus 4 plus 10 plus 5. Why did I want to go to 4 terms again? These two have 4p in common, leaving us with 2p plus 1. These two have a 5 in common, leaving us with 2p plus 1. Now these have what in common? 2p plus 1 times 4p plus 5. Quick reminder of the area model. If you don't like this algebraic approach, then stick it in the area model. 8p squared, split up the 4p and the 10p, okay? And then I look at each row and I go, what do they have in common? 8 and 4, we got a 4 and a p. 10 and 5, we got a 5. 4p plus 5 is one of my groups. Then I look at the columns, up and down, and I go, what do they have in common? 8 and 10, 2 and a p, I believe. I could also check it. 2p times 4p is 8p squared. 4 and 5 have nothing in common, so really it's a plus 1. 4 times what gives me 4? 1 times 5 gives me 5. I really do like this area model because it has a lot of built-in check as you go through it. Do make sure that this is not your answer, though. Once you get to this point, you still have to write your answer like this. 1 down, 4 to go. Let's keep going. Okay, once again, if you want to use the diamond on this, you can. I'm going to go to AC. 6 times 10 is 60. Products of 60 that combine to make 19. If you can't come up with it, then start listing them. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, does 4 go in? Right? Use your calculator to check. 4 and, 5 and. Some of you are like, well, why do you keep going? I don't know. You didn't tell me to stop. Right? The idea is that you have to see that 19 to know that, oh, let's sit there and split it. 4p plus 15p is still 19p. Why did I want to go from 3 terms to 4 terms? I could factor by grouping. The first two have what in common? Leaving us with. The second two have what in common? Leave a 5, leaving us with. Why do I want 2 terms? Well, those 2 terms have what in common? So factor out what they have in common times 2p plus 5. For the last time, just to show you, if you are not loving this, then put it in the area model. It's a little more visual. 6 and 4 both divisible by 2 and p. 15 and 10 are both divisible by 5. Is 2p plus 5 one of my groups? 2p times what? How about a 3 and a p? 2p times what? How about a 2? Is 3p plus 2 my other? See, the area model, I find a lot of people that really like that visual way of handling this. Over here on the left, that's a lot more algebraic. I like it. I like algebraic. But if you don't, Make it visual. Use that area model. 6x squared, 11x plus 3. What's our AC? 18. Our 11 in the middle. What makes 18? 1 and 18. How about 2 and 9? To make a negative 11, they'd have to both be negative. So I've got 6x squared. I'll have people ask me, does the order here matter? Could I put minus 2 or minus 9 or minus 9, minus 2? It doesn't matter. I've even had people argue with me and go, no, it matters. Then you made a mistake somewhere. It doesn't matter. Group the first two. What do they have in common? Leaves us with. Group the second two. What do they have in common? Not just a 3. Catch, if the leading coefficient's negative, pull out the negative with 3 so that I end up with 3x minus 1. These two have what in common? Times let's keep going. A little more complicated with all these x's and y's. Don't freak out about it. It's going to follow the same process. Like I said, these are going to get a little harder. But our AC, 2 times negative 3. How about negative 6? I want to make a 5. 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. Well, either one could make a 5, so be careful. To make it, they have to both be, well, they have to be opposite signs to multiply, right? So it's tempting to do positive 1 and negative 6, or negative 2 or negative 3. But I want to multiply to make a negative 6, so it has to be the top one this time. That is probably the most common mistake here, is those 6's, and there's some numbers that do that, so be careful. Alright, so we're going to split this. Does the order matter? No, it does not. So I will have some people put the negative first. Why would that matter? Well, when I factor by grouping, it's easier when the second group is positive. You're not always going to be able to do that. So if you don't care, then don't care. Just put it in whatever order you want. But I have a lot of people that like to keep this positive. It makes the factoring of the second group easier. First two have what in common? How about a 2 and an x, leaving us with x minus 3y. Second two have what in common? Think just a y, leaving us with x minus 3y. How can you not be excited by this? These two have something in common. And what does that leave us with? Awesome. Is it right? Once again, you can check these. Multiply them out. X times 2x. X times y. Y times x, 3 times 2. And y times y. Yes, I have my 2x squared at the beginning. Xy minus 6y would be minus 5. And minus 3y squared. Check it out. It works. This is the factored form. One more. What's our AC? I will have some people do 24 times 6. And I believe that is 144. And I want to make a 32. 1, 2, 3. Let's kick it up a notch. How about 12 and 12? Yeah, but that's not a 32. So 8. 8 and 18. At this point I'm kind of guessing and checking. That's not a 32. 6 and 24. That's close. 4 and 36. There's my 32. Okay? No, I'm not going to keep doing this. You feel free to do that if you'd like. There's an easier way. I hope you noticed it. Look. Look, look, look. 24, 32, and 6 are all divisible by what? Don't forget to factor out like terms first. 24, 32, and 6 are all divisible by 3. And since the leading coefficient is negative, we should also pull that negative out while we're doing it. Also, they all have what letter in common? They all have a... So let's yank that sucker out too while we're at it. What does that do here? That makes that positive 8x squared plus 16xy. And then it becomes, what is that? Nope. Change the sign in the middle. So 3 times that makes it positive. No, it is not. What the heck did I do? Why did I think of 3? Jeez. Must be tired. How about a 2? So positive 12, negative 16, now I'm feeling better, minus 3y squared. So what does this do for me? 2 things. I dealt with the x's so I don't have all these extra variables. Second thing is this. Look, 12 times 3 is negative 36. That is way easier to deal with than freaking 144. 136, 2 and 18. There's my 16. The 18 needs to be negative. If you don't care about the order, then don't worry about it. Split this sucker. 12x squared plus 2xy minus 18xy minus 3y squared. First two have what in common? Leaves us with 6x plus y. Second two have what in common? Leading coefficient again. So pull out that negative with the 3. Oh, and the letter y. Leaving us with 6x plus y. These two have what in common? 6x plus y times 2x minus 3y. Get to work on these. We need the practice. These are not going to be that hard. It really won't get much more difficult than this. So we're going to be having some applications. This is such a vital skill. I cannot even emphasize. Every chapter in Math 51, you will be having to do factoring. So you might as well get it down now. Keep up the work, and I will see you soon.